the fifth Sunday of Lent. We're going to read from the Gospel of John. As we do that today, imagine yourself as part of the story. Imagine who you are in this story. This is the story of the adulterous woman. Who are you? Are you the woman? Are you the woman who's standing there in the middle being condemned? Are you one of those standing in the circle around, waiting to stone her? Are you one of the scribes or Pharisees that is testing Jesus, that is asking him this question? Are you a person who is standing outside of the circle yet observing, witnessing what is going on? Are you Jesus? Are you the one who stands up for the one who's being condemned? Take a moment to just open yourself to where the Spirit is guiding you. Open yourself to recognizing how you can enter the story through which character. And so, who are you today as we enter into this story? Again, today's reading comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 8. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, but early in the morning he arrived again in the temple area, and all the people started coming to him, and he sat down and taught them. Imagine yourself being there. Who are you? What is happening? Look around you. Listen. Do you hear the words of Jesus? What is the feeling of others around you? What is the day like? Then the scribes and Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery and made her stand in the middle. They said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now, in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" They said this to test him, so that they could have some charge to bring against him. So take a moment. Again, who are you in this story? Recognize what's happening from your perspective. Be aware of what you are seeing around you. Are you part of the crowd? Do you see the crowd? What do people's faces look like? What is the body language that you are seeing? What are you displaying? Yourself, your emotion, your physical presence in this story. Become aware of the surroundings. What are you hearing? What are you not hearing? What do you physically feel? Do you feel people bumping into you? Do you feel the breeze? Do you feel anything. Become aware of your senses and recognize each one of them. Jesus bent down and began to write on the ground with his finger. But when they continued asking him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he bent down and wrote on the ground. Watch this through your eyes. Jesus bends down, begins drawing, writing on the ground. And then makes such a statement that the one without sin can cast the first stone. Look around the group. What are you seeing? How are people responding to this? What are you hearing? Are people saying anything? What are your own thoughts? What are you noticing as you look at the people in this crowd? What are you feeling? And in response, they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. So he was left alone with the woman before him. What does this look like? Are people making eye contact? Are they not? Is there anger in their response to walking away? Is there shame? What are you noticing in the people as they walk away? What are you hearing? Are you hearing the rocks drop to the ground? Or are people grasping them, sticking them in their, keeping them in their palms or sticking them in a pocket or a satchel and taking it away with them? What are you noticing of the people around you? What do you notice within yourself? How do you respond to this statement Jesus makes? At what point do you leave? How do you leave? Then Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." Are you still around to see this part? Do you see how Jesus treats her with mercy? She's not pardoned from her sin. Her sin is recognized and she is held accountable for it. In knowing that Jesus knows she's sinned, but that she's given another chance, a chance to redeem herself, a chance to grow from this experience, from this glance of Christ. As you witness this, in whatever way you do, whether you are an observer watching, whether you are someone from the crowd who has hung around to see what he does, whether you are her, the one being condemned, or are you Jesus, who is standing up for her and to her? Do you see the mercy? Do you recognize that look in Jesus' eyes? That sense of loving someone so much and wanting to see them choose the right path. And in the one condemned, do you see the desire to want to change? Do you see what comes to us when we allow ourselves to receive God's mercy? Take a moment to really enter into this exchange between Jesus and this woman. What is happening? How is she changed? How can she be changed by this? How would you be changed if you received this love and mercy? And so as we take leave of this story, recognize what the Spirit may be telling you, how the Spirit may be calling you As a result of this time in prayer, as a result of this time spent observing, watching, being a part of this particular story, this story of love and mercy. Good and gracious God, thank you. Thank you for the gift of your mercy. Thank you for never leaving us alone. Thank you for leading us and guiding us through the difficult things in life and helping us to know that even when we choose the wrong path, we can always change and we can always choose the right path. Especially when we are open to your love and your mercy that can change our hearts, that can move us in the direction that you are calling us, in the direction of your voice and your understanding and your love. God of mercy and compassion, be with us as we walk through our day today, as we walk through this week, as we continue our Lenten season of fasting and praying and almsgiving. Lead us, guide us, and help us to know the mercy, the love, the grace that you wish to bestow upon us. We ask this through your Son, Jesus. Amen.